What's going on, everybody? We're here tonight with Rich Type here. The great Rich Type is here to drop a little knowledge and drop a little fact info because Rich Type wants to clear the record. He sees a lot of information online. We also have received some commentary about him, questions and things of that nature. So Rich Type wants to clear the record with his own voice, and he wants us to know a couple of things. How are we doing tonight, Rich Type?
Well, it was good. Can't complain.
Okay, can't complain. But we are doing a little talking and a little complaining. We're hearing you talking about people kind of fans, onlookers kind of making lots of commentary about what's going on with you in your career and different things of that sort. So you took a little time to interview with us to let us know what's going on with you, what type of artist you are, and what kind of career goals you have. Like, are you just going to stay solo? You're not going to do work with anyone? How do you feel about working with other artists? And also, how do you feel about artists that sign record deals? Is an independent way to go for everyone, or is are you against signing with a record label? Go ahead and fill us in on some of this information, because I think this is what we were talking about, and some of the other radio hosts, we were talking about this, and you were talking about this as well. You were saying those aren't any direct quotes from yourself, and you said that you are willing to work with quite a few artists.
Yeah, I wanted to clear up a couple of things. I know I've accomplished a lot on my own already, but I'm open to working with different artists. I never intended to just stay solo, because we all want to grow and evolve, right?
Right. That is very true, Rich Type. I get, it's the World Wide Web, so people make commentary about celebrities and entertainers all the time, and sometimes those things are accurate pieces of information, and sometimes they aren't. I do realize that, and I think that's something we need to realize, and I think that's why it's good to we know you do a whole lot of work, and we know you stay busy with the music and your work and things like that. Yes. Okay. In your spare time, Rich Type, who do you like listening to?
In my spare time, I like listening to a couple of people. I know Finesse 2 times. He got some good stuff out right now. Juvenile, I see he's still going strong. T.I.'s also still going strong. Kodak is doing a lot of good things. I've been seeing him dropping some new singles back to back. As an artist that grind myself, I respect that. And YB, he always gonna have some hot stuff coming out. I respect the grind too. He been a workhorse.
Okay, yes, those are definitely some hard workers in the industry. Okay, so let me ask you a question, Rich Type. Which one of those artists would you like to work with? Or a couple of artists would you like to work with?
If I had the chance, I would definitely like to. I'm definitely open to working with Juvenile, T.I. I like Kodak music as well. I feel like we could make some magic together. YB, Glock, Finesse. I feel like me and him, we have a lot in common. I feel like we could really get to bonding with the music. And I'm open to working with Glorilla.
Okay, I can definitely see that. I hear you. Okay, so you're saying that, that's a pretty good playlist that you have. That's a pretty good playlist, because all of those people are some very hard workers, and they remind us of you. So, yeah. Okay, and anything else you want to touch up on, Rich Type, in regards to artists, which artists do you think, if you could just take a guess, which artists do you think have heard you so far? That you can say, oh, I think this person has heard me. This person has heard me. Do you think you're giving any inspiration to any artists out there these days, or anybody taking an inspiration here and there?
Well, I think most of the industry has heard my music by now. I know a good bit of people has taken a little bit of inspiration, so it's always nice to know that I made some fans in the industry. I know Kodak may have heard my music. I like his music. Juvenile has also heard my music. I know he's been tuning in since the classic. T.I., he has also been keeping tabs on me. Wayne has heard me. I know he's always keeping tabs on the next coming out of New Orleans, Louisiana specifically. Mm-hmm. And I know I heard sources that Drake has been tuning in too. So that's always good to know some of the big names is keeping an eye on me. And 2 Chainz as well. If y'all some fans of my work in the industry, RichType say call, don't copy. Call and don't copy.
Okay. Those are some pretty big names. Yeah, those are some pretty big names. And all our talent, we got a lot of talent that's coming out of your state, Louisiana. That's it. Louisiana is a hotbed for talent. The South is a hotbed for talent and always has been. So listen up, everybody. Listen up. If you're checking out this commentary, RichType is definitely open to working with artists. So RichType, you are open to, is it just working with production, arrangements with artists, or do you also write music?
Yeah, I'm open to doing some collabs with artists. There's some artists that I always seen myself making some music with.
Okay. And you said collaborations. That's one. You would be willing to work with them as far as production and other type of musical arrangements. I remember you mentioned that.
Yeah. Now I know online, I don't know if what they're saying online could be potentially scaring some people away. That's what they saying online. That ain't coming out of my mouth.
Okay.
I never said myself that I would never do collabs. I never said that.
Okay. Yeah, well, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that, you guys. So RichType is open. RichType says he is not a hater. Ain't that right, RichType? No hate here.
Nah, it's no hate here.
No hate here. Okay, so yes. So look, don't be afraid to reach out. You want to do some work with RichType? You want some original pieces of work? You want something different? You want some definite hits? Call RichType. You want some new flavor? RichType is saying call him. That sounds really good, RichType. Okay, and one other thing you wanted to address was the independent artist and the signing artist. Just, the web is saying that RichType is totally against signing or doing anything like that. And you're telling us that, no, you're not you're open-minded to whatever suits you best. And other artists should be open-minded to whatever suits them best. Is that correct?
One thing I see is that never close your mind off to something that might benefit you. You always gotta keep an open mind because you'll never know what might be in store for you later on.
Right, because some people have found that some people have found that everybody starts as independent first, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, everybody has to start. You start by yourself, and then you work your way up to whatever, your path or journey, however that may define you. So we really like the commentary you just gave. Record labels, if you're interested in RichType says that is not his commentary. of saying that he is totally against any artist. Okay, RichType. Yeah, RichType says to keep an open mind. He says he's keeping an open mind as towards any deals or work or career paths that he's taken or will be taking. And he suggests other artists be open-minded and continue to work hard, be original. I know you mentioned that was very important to you, staying original. And you suggest other artists do the same thing as well.
Yeah, I know there's different apps out there where people use AI for their music, but I always was a true musician of music. Like, I'm true to this music game. I've been out longer than most people realize. I've been doing this since at least 10 plus years, at least around 2013, 14, 15, around that time frame. So I've been real keen to this music.
Okay. Yeah, your ear is very sharp.
Yes, it is. It's always been sharp. I know what my music sounds like. I can hear it anywhere. I can identify any pattern. I've always been aware of what my sound is. So if I hear it anywhere else, or I hear some inspirations from it, I could identify it easily, because I've been trained in this at a very young age to identify sounds and patterns.
You're also musically trained, and you have
that's right.
Some time. We hear that as well.
I know what sounds good. There's been times where people has underestimated and doubted my vision or what I hear, but when I put something together, I know it's going to sound right.
And you also know when it's yours. You mentioned that. Okay, so that's yes, artists. That's very important. Upcoming artists, and just artists that have already been in the game. The key peak of making sure, trying your best to make sure that music is original. So or your music being mistaken for someone else's music, because most musicians are very sharp when it comes to such things. And RichType, you said being that you have been out for quite some time, you've had to learn some lessons, how to work things out with your music on a business aspect and personal aspect. So that's very interesting. We see your hard work put in, and we definitely like to hear more from you. Whenever you'd like to come back into the studio and talk with us, we definitely appreciate you sitting down with us and clearing some things up. We really appreciate it. And we're hoping some of these artists, if you want to, reach out to RichType. Even if you weren't on the list, reach out to RichType.